Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's Currie Cup Round 4 Team of the Week. Basically a wrap-up of the top performing players in the weekend that was. Only 2 matches unfortunately last weekend, and the same thing will happen this weekend. If in case you have missed it, the Lions versus the Bulls match has been postponed till the 6th of January this weekend, and therefore will not happen this weekend. So only 2 matches this weekend. That is the Griquas versus the Western Province and the Sharks versus the Cheetahs on Sunday. So yeah, just before we look into the team itself, please do consider subscribing. Bottom right hand corner there. We're trying to get 4 subscribers every day, which will get us up to 400 subscribers before the end of the year. So right now, if you have not subscribed, bottom right hand there, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button as well. Jump in the comments, let me know what you thought of the weekend and some of the players that stood out for you. But in terms of the team of the week, this is what we have got, and obviously dominated by the Lions, as you would expect, given the fact that they did dominate the Sharks. Also a couple of Cheetahs players there who managed to beat the Pumas 35-31 in a decent comeback, because they were a bit under the cosh and the Cheetahs were the Pumas were really sort of pushing them right towards the end. But you know, you sort of the class of the Pumas came through. The Cheetahs rather came through when it counted. So if you look at the team 1 through 15, the Lions front row were the biggest dominating factor in the clash itself. You know, that scrum advantage they had from early days. Paul Michael Kumbarai really struggled the entire match, as did Oxenchair to a certain extent. I was very impressed with Dylan Smith, Jacob Asaki and Yanni du Plessis. They were fantastic scrum time. Jacob Asaki was also the top tackler in the match itself with 13 tackles. Dylan Smith contributed with 6 tackles as well. Yanni du Plessis making just 2, but he was very good at when it came to scrum time. In terms of the locks, Willem Alberts, the man of the match for the Lions. What a performance he put in, and what a big difference he's starting to make to the Lions side, which has sometimes been a bit lightweight when you look at the pack itself. But you know, he's sort of proving that, you know, age really is just a number, and that he still has a lot to offer, especially at lock, where he doesn't necessarily have to be as mobile as opposed to his sort of flank days back in the past. But very impressed with him. Huge, hard hitting, some massive hits. Artikum was in Noche and Marius Lowe particular stand out. But, you know, we saw the power of him in the Cheetahs 2 weeks ago, and once again back to his best. Carl Vechner sneaks in ahead of Marvin Orie. Marvin Orie also had a very good game. That whole tight 5 for the Lions were very impressive. The reason I've gone with Carl Vechner is I just was frustrated at some of the very basic and stupid penalties that Marvin Orie was guilty of giving away over the weekend. Sometimes that sort of ill discipline does creep into his game, unfortunately, which is always the biggest frustration, because he's got everything in his locker to really become a fantastic player. You know, he's really good at line out, he works very hard, he's a decent ball carrier, but sometimes the discipline just sort of hampers him a little bit, and he just needs to sort that out. He's been very good this Currie Cup, but sometimes we saw a bit of the sort of the previous discipline issues creeping in this weekend, whereas Carl Vechner was just tireless for the Cheetahs. You know, 14 tackles made. The next best after that was Dries Swanepoel with 8, and after that, you know, the next best was 7, and after that was just 6. So, you know, if you look at the pack, you know, nobody in the pack made half as many tackles as Carl Vechner did. He worked very, very hard. He carried the ball up quite a lot, and he just, you know, he's just become such a big leader and such a big part of that Cheetahs side. And Ndisa Nsila was the man of the match. He was fantastic, worked very hard at the breakdown, win some crucial penalties. He's a very physical player, loves the physical side of the game, loves to carry the ball. You know, he made 21 meters in his 3 ball carriers. Turnovers 1. There was one very important turnover he won, but he's playing some very good rugby at the moment, and he's becoming a very vital part of the Cheetahs cog. Willem van der Sluys, who came in place of Vincent Tuka, who was last week's man of the match for the Lions and in the team of the week. So, you know, both number 7s have made the consecutive team of the week, and I was very impressed with Willem van der Sluys, given the fact that he was trying to step in and fill it in for Vincent Tuka. He worked very hard. The Lions pack were just very good, you know, and that's where the Cheetahs were just completely outplayed. But you look at Van der Sluys, he worked very hard in defense. He made 8 tackles, made quite a few meters when he carried the ball up. You know, made a lot of carries, was a hard worker. He is usually a lock, so, you know, it was nice to see a bit of versatility in there as well. And then Willie Engelbrecht, the only Pumas player that gets in, he did give away a yellow card, whether you agree with it or not. But, you know, I thought he just worked very hard. He made a lot of tackles. He scored a very important try to try and give the Pumas a bit of hope. But he's a very big ball carrier, and he makes a very big difference to the Puma setup. So credit to him. And then Ruben de Haas on his first start for the Cheetahs was also very good. I thought controlled the game pretty well. There was no panic when it came to the Cheetahs. yeah, I thought he was fairly faultless. And Tian Meyer came on towards the end of the game and scored a nice try, but I was very impressed with what Ruben de Haas had to offer. Alton Yankees, we talked about the whole Bosch versus Yankees matchup, and I think that Alton Yankees did edge it. You know, Bosch kicked very, very well, especially some very big kicks. But overall, you know, you look at the try that Wandisile Similani scored, the part that Alton Yankees played, the leadership he showed. You know, he's finally starting to get more recognition for the player he is and how important he is for the Lions cog to get it turning. So, yeah, Cordis Kosan also back to some of his best rugby. You know, you can just never keep him out of the game. He'll always look for work no matter what the sort of situation is. He works very, very hard. Steon Pienaar, I thought, was also very good, forming into a nice wing combination. So, showing that they can cope without a Piwa Dianti, although if he did appeal and come back, there will be a lot of sort of headache select when it comes to the wing selection, but those two are buckling down nicely there. Maurice Lowe for me edged Dan Kriel. There really wasn't much in it. I thought that Maurice Lowe was probably a bit more effective, was quite good in defense, didn't miss a tackle. On the attack, there was much of a muchness. They both carried the ball up quite a lot, but Maurice Lowe has become a very important ball carrier because he's very direct with the way he carries. Lakanya Adams is a fantastic player, but he often looks, for offloads, look for space and stuff like that. Maurice Lowe is quite direct and quite confrontational, which has become quite useful in giving the Sharks the back line something a little bit different. They've got a lot of flair and pace in that back line. And Maurice Lowe is somebody who's quite direct. And then Wandisile Similani, no need to explain. All you have to do is watch that try assist. A brilliant piece of play. Caught the ball outside Spoon Corsi, stepped inside Lakanya, timed the offload perfectly. Whenever he has the ball, the entire defense has to go and step up and go, well, Sherbert, what is he going to do? He's such he's such a charismatic player to watch. The facial expressions are priceless. He really loves his rugby, plays the game with a huge smile on his face. He just gets so excited with being on the field, which really is a pleasure to watch. Spoon Corsi was also very good. I thought he tried very hard, didn't have much to do. Did get beaten in that try with Wandisile Similani. Came off his line a bit, but they were outnumbered, so you can kind of understand. But he did make 2 or 3 very good defensive reads, which did stop the Lions from getting an overlap. Made 10 tackles, worked very hard. He, for a wing, he's just so involved in so many different aspects of the game. Unfortunately, probably one of the reasons the Sharks maybe struggles is they couldn't get their backline into the game as much as they would have liked. And he is somebody that they would have liked to have gotten more ball on. And then Tian Swanepoel, he's becoming. The Lions have really struggled when it comes to fullback because they've lost, a lot of their fullbacks. When you think that Gianni Lombard is ruled out for the season, Ivia Fulyun is ruled out at the moment. So Tian Swanepoel came in, and I tell you, it's going to be hard pressed to take that number 15 jersey away from him. Scored a try, which was mostly for Wandisile Similani, but kicked 2 very impressive penalties. Adds a very nice kicking option. And I thought I was quite impressed with his defense. Quite a big hitting defense. Spoon Corsi had a very good run when he caught the ball from the kickoff and looked like he was going everywhere. And Tian Swanepoel stepped up, had a very nice hit on them. He made 45 meters in his 8 carries. Struggled a little bit under the high ball. I think that's something that he'll probably want to work on. But for given the fact that the Lions are sort of sitting there going, what are they going to do without in trying to find a replacement for the fullback, he's really stepped up, and I've been very impressed with his work. But let me know what you think of the team in the comments below. Please do, as I said, do subscribe, smash a like on the video as well. 5 things we learned coming up tomorrow, as well as a preview of the 2 matches this weekend. So make sure you keep it locked on Forever Rugby, on Forever Sports, so that you never miss a moment. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.